let's look at why pelvic floor and abdominal muscles could be a really good idea for you if you get some leakage when you're on the move, especially when you're walking, climbing stairs or running. So what we're going to do is don't use any muscles at all, even though you know what you could do with them. Just leave them all hanging out and relaxed and pretend that you're going for a walk. So let one leg go out straight, just along the mat, and then bring it back in. And now your other leg go out and back in. And it's a bit stylized, but it's a pretend walk. And as you move your legs, can you feel what's happening to the middle section of your body? It's moving up and down. Your pelvis is tipping backwards and forwards. And if there was a glass of champagne on your tummy, what would happen to it?
Fall over.
I think it would fall off. There's a bit of a wobble. Now, if you pause, imagine yourself walking along for real. Your pelvis is moving with every step you take. That means your bladder is moving with every step you take. And the problem with the bladder is it's a bit like a lemon jiffy bottle. It's got a tiny hole to the outside, but if you shake it, it's very vulnerable to leaking. So now watch what happens if you held your abdominals and pelvic floor in just that light extra pants feeling. So let your tummy muscles be relaxed. Breathe in first, let them swell. As you breathe out, think drawing in pants at the front and in the pelvic floor underneath like a gusset, and make sure you can breathe. Now keep those extra pants on and straighten your leg out again. Bring it back in and then your other leg. And keep holding the abdominals and pelvic floor. And does it feel like you're moving a bit less?
Yes, it feels a lot more stable.
Now, it's often not a dramatic difference, but if after this next one you stop and you let go, right? And now don't hold your muscles in and move your legs. Yeah.
Yes.
It's definitely more wobbly without your muscles.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing to practice is what I call 100% perfect walking. Glass of champagne, dead still. Because if you practice perfect walking as an exercise, you'll get about 75% of it when you really do go for a walk. So picture your glass of champagne stood on your tummy. Think breath in, let your tummy muscles swell. As you breathe out, think lower abdominals in towards you, little bit of pelvic floor underneath, and breathe. Now keep that glass of champagne really still and straighten your leg. Bring it back in, careful as you swap feet, other leg. And your job's to try to not let the champagne move. Nice. And though that feels a bit awkward or different to normal, if you can get the hang of that action, tummy in, pelvic floor, and moving your legs, it will really help with walking. One more each leg. Back in, stop, and let go. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the other thing we do loads of is climb stairs. So when we climb stairs, one leg comes in towards us, then you put your foot on the step, and for a moment they're both there, and then your other leg comes up, and then your foot goes on the step. And now think about that glass of champagne. Not only does it want to wobble this way, but it also wants to wobble that way. Yeah. So stairs can be a bit of a hazard. People often say they've gone to London for the day and all those escalators and their bladder was really not happy. So your next job is to keep your glass of champagne still while you climb stairs. So you can put your fingertips on top if you find that helpful. So you can do breath in, let your tummy swell. As you breathe out, think lower abdominals, pelvic floor, just a little bit. So you can breathe really nicely over the top. And then fold one knee in, knee over hip, pause. Now put that foot down, just for a moment, both feet are on the steps together. And then without losing your tummy, bring your other leg up. Slowly down, feet side by side, keep the glass of champagne steady, bring your leg up. Slowly down, have a breath if you need one, and then pick up. And it takes a bit of thinking, and down. And ideally we're going to blow out when we lift your leg up. And we'll always breathe in again as it goes back down, and then breathe out, pick up. That's it, and back down. So one more each leg. And it won't feel like you're doing anything that interesting, but keep holding. And then when you put your foot down, let go of your tummy, let go of your pelvic floor, and you'll feel them drop away.
Oh, yes.
Yeah? So it's getting your brain, your middle, tummy and pelvic floor, and your legs to all work as a package, not just go brain, legs, and miss out the bit in the middle. And the last one I like to do in the sequence is particularly good if you like to run, because when you run, at a moment in time, both feet are off the floor. Now this one's quite a lot harder, so find your tummy muscles with your fingertips. Breathe in first, let them swell. As you breathe out, think lower abdominals in. Find your pelvic floor, make sure you can breathe. Fold one leg up into that tabletop position, and that's quite easy to do, and we'll just keep your knee over your hip. Now you're going to have to think really hard. Can you keep the tummy flat and the pelvic floor lifted as the second leg comes up to join it? It's a lot harder to do. And you've got to be careful to keep a really good hold. And breathe. And now going down is tricky too. Slowly down with one leg, slowly down with the other leg. Pause, have a few breaths. So bring first leg up's quite easy. Have a breath. You need to be breathing out as you use your muscles and bring your second leg to join it. And breathe. And then as you breathe out, slowly lower your first leg back down just for one, and then lower the other. And then have a rest. And you'll find 2 at a time makes you think, oh.
Yes.
And there is a bit of a temptation for the tummy to bulge. So your goal is to learn to hold it really steady as you move your legs. And as a beginner, I wouldn't do too many in a row, just 2 at a time. Have a rest, 2 at a time.
So would this exercise be safe if you've got a prolapse?
If you do it very carefully, and I would spend some time practicing the leg stretches and the one before, the stair climbing one, first, until you're really quite confident with that before you try that more advanced one, because that can make a bit of a bulge in the tummy. And if it bulges in the tummy, it's going to bulge underneath.